Aloha and shalom. We're here for the first quarter activation. So I'm going to go ahead and set up while you guys tune in. So last week was the new moon, new beginning. And now we're 1 week into this current cycle. So it's like, where are we at? What's going on now that we've stepped into this particular theme for this cycle? Where are we at? What's it feeling like so far? How are we doing? How can we do better? How can we refine our path here? Let me know in the comments where in the world you're tuning in from. We've got Phoenix in the house, I see. I'm in the Verde Valley, Arizona. Where in the world are you? Let me know in the comments. And remember, you guys, the deck is like the whole you, and each card is a different aspect of you. So when we're shuffling, we're kind of just awakening each of the parts, okay? We're touching them all, and so there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's a matter of feeling into it, using your intuition, and just using this shuffling as a ritual to come present with all parts of yourself, wholly and fully here now in this moment. It's also like the deck is the whole world, and each card is a different aspect of this world. It's like the world is in your hands. There are many ways to analyze the nature of this deck, because it's everything. It's the one and all the parts of the one, you know what I'm saying? We got Philadelphia in the house. Where in the world are you? Let us know in the comments. And feel free to share this video now while we're live. Maybe you know someone who could really use some guidance right now. A friend, family member, maybe somebody you just met. Maybe you have a favorite group you want to share this activation with right now. Or as always, feel free to wait until the end. The recording will be here on my wall. It'll also be on YouTube and Instagram, Rebecca Magic, for anyone who is not on Facebook that you want to share it with. All right. Shuffling the Hebrew letters as well. They work the same way as the tarot deck. Do whatever you need to do to be so comfortable in this moment, okay? If you're cold, make yourself warmer. If you're hot, cool off. If you need a drink, get that. All right, we are made of water, and there's electricity running through us, and hydration is key to allow that energy to move. So when you're doing practices like this, you know, that require presence, you're channeling, you're tuning in, then you want to be comfortable. Sort of like with lucid dreaming, right? If you want to lucid dream, you want to make sure your body's comfortable. Otherwise, any discomfort is going to pull you back into your body and wake you up. It's the same thing, right? Because we want to meditate and get into those more receptive brainwave states. And it requires comfort in this human body so that we can kind of forget about it for a moment and go into those altered states. And no, this is not black magic. This is not demonic. There's nothing dark about it. Remember the intention. We're working for the one, the most high, the holy one, and we all are a part of this one. This is not any sort of, you know, voodoo, black magic, whatever. It's all for the highest good of the one, the healing of the one, which includes all of us. It's the work that we do to serve the Creator, always. And y'all who've been following me for many years know that that's how we operate here. So it doesn't matter your religion, your race, your gender. In this space, we are timeless. We are in the archetypal realm. All right. Whew. Giving thanks in advance for this message that's about to come through. Thank you, thank me, thank we, thank the one. Thank you, archetypes, symbols, for showing us the way, for giving us this message that's going to serve as a map for us to move through this part of the cycle with the most grace and ease and with the least amount of crisis, right? Because without the challenge, there's no chariot. So we're not going to say without crisis, but just to make it as graceful as possible. So thank you. Beginning with the current challenge and gift. Again, we're at the first quarter moon, so we're 1 week into the cycle, okay? We still have next week the full moon, the pinnacle of the cycle, and then the come down where we then end up at the final quarter to integrate it all. So we're still at the first half of this process. Okay, so what is the current challenge and gift right now? Also known as the focus. What energy are we moving away from, launching from? And why are we experiencing this right now? Let's just, instead of asking the foundation, let's ask for like a glimpse into the future. And you guys know, but I'm going to say this for anyone who hasn't been here before. You can't really predict the future, right? Because we're writing the future each moment with our choices in thought and speech and action. So the future is not yet written, but there are cycles and seasons that are dependable. We can look to those patterns to, in a way, get a glimpse of what is to come. And that's what the archetype that we pull, that's what the card that we pull represents, is what is the dependable thing that we can expect in relation to the cycles that are inevitable and that are eternal. And then with the Hebrew cards, we're going to pull the main ally of the week, because they're all our allies, but who is the one to focus on? Okay, so remember, as always, that all of these cards are all our allies, and they're all just representing laws that are operating in every moment. They're always present. But the ones that we pull, we're pulling for a reason, and they're our access point to be able to make sense of all this. So we use these cards to get into the story, but we keep the wheel turning. We recognize that all of these archetypes are our allies, and we can call on them at any moment from within ourselves and all around ourselves. All right, so beginning with the challenge and gift, thank you. Knight of Cups. It looks like this. This is the current focus. And come into the realm of the archetypes right now, okay? Because these archetypes are speaking to all of us. It doesn't matter how different your life looks compared to the next person. This is always going to be relatable in a unique way to each one of us, but the theme should be relatable to everyone. Okay, so no matter what you're going through in the material realm, pull it in. We're in the realm of the archetypes now, okay? In the realm of universal truth, timeless truth. So right now the theme is the Knight of Cups. And this is focusing on expression of the heart, okay? Because see, he's got the cup in his hand. It's the suit of the heart, cups. Think of like the Holy Grail is the heart. And then he's on a horse, which denotes movement. And this is all about expressing what's in the heart. So you always want to look to the primary elemental focus, and here it's water. Of course, then you want to relate it to the other elemental dimensions, because as in one, so in all. So how it affects us in one dimension is ultimately affecting us in every dimension. But you want to think of the primary element first. So it's water, okay? How have you been attending to your water element, the water within you, the water around you, the waters of life? Hone in there first. What even is water? It's connected to our emotions. Have you been tending to your emotional state? Have you been paying attention to the emotional dimension as it exists, not only for you, but for everyone you come in contact with? Have you been emotionally attuned lately? Or have you been distant? Have you been dissociated? Okay, these are questions to ask yourself right now that are really going to help you pay attention to what matters most right now. The heart, emotions, feelings. Okay, so wherever you've been holding back what you feel, it's time to express it. And remember that water moves with grace. First of all, when water's stagnant, there's disease, right? So it's needing to be moved. It's needing to be expressed. And the question is, how do we do that with the most compassion? That's always the question. But we're talking specifically about the suit of cups, which is the heart, which is all about compassion. And compassion, not only for others, but also for yourself, because we are one. So where have you not been expressing? And how can you express what you feel in a way that is compassionate, in a way that is healthy for all? Healthy for you, meaning getting it out, not keeping it in, but also respectful of others, right? So for example, it might not be the most compassionate to go and blurt out some words of how you're feeling to another person. Maybe it's about first writing it down in a journal. That right there is movement. Maybe it's about ecstatic dance. I know many folks who do that, and that's their primary way of expressing what they feel. Maybe it's playing some music. And maybe it is just flat out going and expressing in words how you feel about somebody to somebody. But you have to be willing to analyze the situation and ask, okay, this needs to come out, but what is the most compassionate way of doing that? And if you can be honest with yourself in that reflection and then act on what comes to you, then that's the full strategy. So this is the focus right now, is moving what you feel. And ultimately the goal is compassion, right? So acting from the heart and speaking to the heart. Acting from love for love. It's all about the one which is in the heart, lives in the heart. The heart of hearts, the heart that we're all connected to, okay? So it's about moving from the heart for the heart. So there needs to be movement right now, expression of feeling, and it needs to be in service of the one heart. So how can you find healing? Maybe your relationships have been struggling. Maybe you've been holding back, right? Cups is often about relationships, but when you look deeper, everything is relationship. Everything in this life is about the one relating to itself. So it's about your relationship with yourself, your relationship with others, with your environment, etc., right? Your relationship with your thoughts, your relationship with your emotions. Everything is relationship. So look at where there needs movement, expression of feeling. Okay? And move that energy. And remember to align with love. To realign with your purpose, to reinforce your awareness and your devotion to being in service of the one heart. So definitely expression of feeling with the intention of healing. Expression of feeling with the intention of healing. Someone write that down in the comments. Expression of feeling with the intention of healing. That's the key focus right now. But it needs to be both. There needs to be the expression and the movement with the intention. We're not just to flail around like noodles with no awareness and no intention, okay? It's the intention of being in service to the one heart. We're moving away from the Chariot. And this is a major arcanum card, meaning a major secret. So it's one of the more powerful cards in the deck. This is a big, powerful theme. And this is where we're moving from. So we may have been feeling very on the go, I need to conquer this. I need to heal that. I need to fix this. I need to get rid of this part of myself. I need to heal that within that other person. They need to let that go. They need to move on from this. A lot of this fiery energy, a lot of this energy of conquering, okay? The ancient name for this card, the Chariot, was the Conqueror. Okay, so it's a lot about focus on success and forward movement and power and being dominant, okay? We're moving away from that energy, okay? Because when you look at this and then you look at this card, we're moving away from this toward this. It's like, okay, less conquer and more remembrance of why I'm even here. Remembering why I'm even doing all this. Remembering what I'm conquering is simply the lower aspects of self. Because I'm in service of the one heart. So perhaps it's time to soften. Pour some water on it. Pour a little water on it. Pour a little water on yourself. Okay, so we're softening. We're slowing down and going, oh yeah, what all this forward movement was for anyway was for the expression of feeling with the intention of healing. That's what this was all for. I was so silly, I forgot. And I got a little crazy, got a little fired up. And we're moving toward, and speaking of fire, this is like a very fiery card. So perhaps we're reserving our energy right now and moving into that space of love, dropping into the heart so that when we inevitably come to this theme that I'm about to describe, we are ready for it, okay? Fives are very fiery in general. Fives of any of the suits are when we're in the middle of the conflict or challenge or lesson situation. And so this is fire, it's wands, so it's saying we're moving toward a challenging and fiery situation where there can be a lot of passion, a lot of heightened emotions, a lot of just heightened energy in all dimensions. Passion, creativity, spontaneity, energy, okay? And check it out, there's these 5 people here and they're all like jousting with their sticks, their wands, but no one's actually hurt. And the goal is always, this is what this is depicting, the goal is to put yourself out there and be willing to receive the energy of others so that you in turn, because everything is a reflection, can be received, okay? This card is about opening up in a sense that you're going to go out into the world and be ready to be received and also be humble and ready to receive the energy of others. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to share my passion, my creativity, and my purpose, my ideas, my visions with the world. And I'm going to be ready for some friction. I'm going to be ready for some healthy competition. I'm going to be ready not just for, as Einstein would have called it, violent opposition. I'm going to be ready for all of the possible responses to what I have to bring. And I'm going to hold the intention of compassion, because when we're all doing that, when we all go out there, put ourselves out there in this way, ready to be received, but also to receive others, we're coming from a space of compassion. Otherwise, somebody will get hurt. But check it out, nobody here is hurt. And nobody has to get hurt. Competition can be healthy when it is done in this way, when we see ourselves in the other and the other in ourself. When we go with the intention of healing, right? Expression of feeling with the intention of healing, then we are fully ready to put ourselves out there in any situation, ready to meet anyone, brush up against others, collide energies, because that's what this all is. I mean, like, you look under a microscope and that's what you see. It's like a collision of energy left and right? Like, everything in this reality is being held up by the opposition of the forces of polarity, dancing. Now, those forces are being supported and maintained by the force of love. It's the light, the electricity that comes about when they unite that keeps the ball rolling, that keeps the wheel turning, right? So we don't need to be afraid of putting ourselves out there. In fact, fence sitting is not going to do anything for anyone. We've got to put ourselves out there in the same way that all of our cells do, in the same way that the nature of reality dances. We too must dance. We too must put ourselves out there. There's no out, there's no in. It's all one. In, out, up, down, left, right, whatever. And so we have to imagine that if we drop in to this space, right, expression of feeling with the intention of healing, and we truly see ourselves as the other and the other as the self, then it becomes exciting and inspiring to go out into the world, because we know that if we have that intention and the other person meets us in that intention, which by law must happen, right, because the universe is a mirror, then what we should expect is that we're going to go out there and we're going to make magic together. And we're going to make more magic than we could have on our own, because inclusivity is a virtue for a reason. There is magic in inclusivity. Magic. Virtues aren't magic. Inclusivity is a virtue. So we've got to imagine in your mind's eye that you're going to go out there with love, ready to be received, because you are truly also holding a space to receive others. So it's going to match by law. And so in your mind, you hold this vision of, I'm going out there and it's going to be this beautiful dance, and we're going to create light. Our friction is going to create a fire that's going to inspire ever higher. Our friction, I'm going to bring my energy, you're going to bring yours, and it's going to make this beautiful light, like the electricity that comes about when the forces of polarity do their dance. We're going to mimic that natural process, that organic process. I expect it. And the reason this happens so effortlessly in nature is because nature doesn't see separation. Everything is one. And we have to get into that mind state. And we have to lock it in so that we expect this vision to manifest, this vision of us going out there, our energies meeting with other energies, which is inevitable. So stop hiding. And it's going to make light that's not going to be a fire that burns. It's going to be a fire that inspires, a fire that ignites the truth, a fire that ignites the spirit that is ready to awaken and heal and transform this world, okay? We want to be and create and multiply that fire, that flame that inspires, that transforms, not that burns and kills, right? But the fire that transforms. Like alchemy, right? The fire that burns away what is not needed, what no longer works. The fire that forges the phoenix, right? The fire that the phoenix arises from. That's the fire we're talking about, okay? And the way that you guarantee this fire to burn higher, this fire of inspiration, the way that you can guarantee that's going to happen is simply by dropping into your heart and remembering that everything is one. And if you're really in that space, no one's going to get hurt. You are ready to go out into the world from the space of love in service of that same space. Meeting others, staying humble, being willing to be in your receptive space so that you can receive others, knowing that in turn, by law, you will also be received. And what does that mean? It means you don't have to worry about some competition because you are unique. Your light is unique. You never have to worry about competition. That's not a thing when you understand the true laws of oneness, okay? There's no such thing as competition. So when you come from the space, the reason why you're not worried about clashing with someone else, hurting another, or being hurt is because you are so secure and so solid, right? When you're locked into your heart, you're locked into the truth, you have no fear. It creates an aura of protection. You are literally protected when you are in this vibration. Literally you are protected because you align with truth and therefore you vibrate in resonance with it. And truth is a shield. Truth is armor. And so you don't need to worry about protection, because ironically, then you manifest the situation to be hurt so that you can learn exactly what you already know, which is that you're already protected. The fear is only going to attract the very thing you don't want so that you can learn this thing that I'm saying you already know, so walk like it. Okay, so again, you'll walk out into the world without fear, without anxiety, without expectation of the worst, because you are, again, in your heart, locked into truth, knowing that the other is you. And so you're coming with love. You're coming with balance. You're coming from a place of groundedness where you are telling the world and those that you meet, I love you. I see you. I am not a threat. I am not threatened by you. It's all love here. It's all love everywhere. And when you come with that frequency, right, it's like Gandhi, it's like Buddha, it's like Jesus, it's like Moses. It's this force that is, again, protected, grounded, and ready to multiply the light. Not just in your own experience, but in our shared experience. So you come out into situations like this as a presence of love. And you know it, you are secure in that, and therefore everyone else around you feels that and knows that, and they respond to that. And then they begin to resonate with that love, right? Because the law of resonance. And so then you pull everybody into that vibration. Effortlessly, just because you're resting there, just because you're grounded into that space. So recap, before we pull the Hebrew letter ally, okay, we're moving out of this place of dominance, and I need to win, I need to be better. What? We're pausing. We're coming back into the truth that we need to express our feelings with the intention of healing. It's about the one. It's about moving from the heart in service of the heart. And as we express what's there, we heal what's there within ourselves, within our relationships, within all the situations we have going on. And then we can breathe, and then we can regulate our nervous system. Come back into center, come back into that space of truth. Oh yeah, I remember who I am. I remember what this is all for. Whew, it's all love. I'm love. There is no threat. There is no fear. No fear lives here. I let go of all anxiousness. It's all good in this moment. I'm in my center. And then we're grounded there, ready to go back into the world soon, right? We got all this fire building, right? We got all this passion. But this is what we're coming to. And we'll be ready to deal with it because we'll be grounded in love, be grounded into our true essence, anchored into that. And so when we come out into the world to inevitably face these situations and face other people, we're doing it with an open heart. And the Hebrew letter ally of the week is the Dalet. And you can look it up, D-A-L-E-T, Dalet. You can Google it, see what finds you when you do that. And the Dalet is the Hebrew letter, it's the fourth letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And the hieroglyphic symbol for this letter is a door. So it's about potential, right? Like, what does a doorway represent? Potential, stepping through into another door, Dalet, dimension. Okay, and the letter right before it symbolizes like a foot walking toward the door. And remember, it's a sequence. So it's like we're remembering, we're stepping into the door. The door is manifesting. The door is already there. Everything already exists simultaneously here and now. Nothing is ever new. It's already there. All realities exist simultaneously here now. So the door is there. It's waiting for us to open it. And the way that we're going to reach these new opportunities, this is what the Dalet is telling us right now, is when we drop into our heart and we really align with our purpose and we really align with our intention of healing not just the self, but the one self. Because what do you think is going to happen when you anchor into love and you step into these situations and you put yourself out there and you hold a space for others? It opens you up. It opens your heart. And what happens in that space of openness? Opportunities. Opportunities come your way. So be ready for the door. That's what the Dalet is telling us, okay? It's giving us this inspiration saying, Dalet, door, what do you think is going to happen? Expect opportunities to come. That's why we're doing this. We're getting out of our ego, relaxing, dropping back into the heart so that we can put ourselves out into the world in a way that's more righteous, in a way that's more true, so that we can receive opportunities and reflection of that, so that we can begin to really grow and expand without wasting our time on silly, egoic, lower nature stuff, right? So that we can really get the ball rolling here. So expect that when you drop into your heart and you go out there into the world and you're holding space for others and others are holding space to you, for you, what happens there inevitably is opportunities arise for new relationships, new connections, business opportunities, projects, adventures. So expect those doors to open up. Doors that are so beautiful, doors that are prayers answered. Doors that you've been waiting for. So we just need to get out of our own way. Stop chasing all this stuff that's not really getting us what we want, not really bringing us to that level of fulfillment. Going, oh, I'm already fulfilled right here, right now, when I drop into my heart. And from that space, as I reconnect to reality, as I reconnect to the world, to others, to my environment, new opportunities are going to rise. And those opportunities are going to be more aligned with your true nature. So pay attention, because when those doors open, when those doors appear, you could say yes or no, what doors you're going to open, okay? And in those moments, those choice points, just stay anchored in your heart and remember, this door is manifesting an opportunity for me. And I must remember that all of the outside details, the material details, will fade. They're not even real. So as I analyze this opportunity, I'm going to look deeper. I'm going to look ever deeper until I see the real opportunity within that one, which is always about virtues, virtuous embodiment. I'm going to ask, as each opportunity presents itself to me, what opportunity for my soul to grow is there within this outside opportunity, this material opportunity? What's the deeper opportunity here? And that will help you choose yes or no. And ultimately, there's only one path, so it doesn't matter. You don't need to get hung up on the choice. It's a crossroads. Keep it moving. Indecision above all else is worse than a bad choice. But that's how you're going to make your choice. You're going to say, oh, this new opportunity has opened up for me as a result of dropping into my heart and approaching the world in this way. Let me continue to stay in my heart by taking these opportunities, not as a gift, as a reward, but as an opportunity to heal and to continue to stay in my heart and continue to be in service of the one heart. Because that's what it's about. That's like the trick and the test is these opportunities are coming up to be like, good job, you dropped into your heart. Here's this gift. What are you going to do with it? And how we're meant to respond is we're meant to go, I know what this is. I see. This new relationship is an opportunity for me to develop more patience, develop more selflessness, develop the ability to express myself more honestly. I see. This new opportunity is one that is being offered so that I can stay in my heart and ground in even deeper into my heart, because I reached this level, but it keeps going. Okay, so as you're met with these opportunities as a reflection of dropping into your heart, remember why they're there. Remember why you're here. Is so that you can keep going, keep dropping in deeper into your heart. It's not just some trophy. See how the cups look like this grail, this trophy? It's a shiny, pretty thing. But remember, the outside stuff, those detailed material details are not even real. So it's not about the grail, it's about the water within. The liquid light, that water is what I'm talking about, okay? The liquid light, your essence, love. So when that cup is handed to you, hey, you did it, you dropped into your heart, here's a new opportunity, here's a new relationship, here's a new job, here's a new project, here's a new adventure. Hold the intention. Remember, expression of feeling with the intention of healing. Expression is nothing without intention. It's like we're all about freedom of expression. Freedom. Well, what do you want that freedom for? What are you trying to express? What's your point? What's your purpose? Okay, so when that cup is handed to you, that gift, that trophy, every grail, and in the tarot, it's true as well, every grail represents a fulfillment of a lesson, of an initiation. And when that cup is handed to you at the end, it's not merely some pretty trophy. It's the gift of an opportunity to go deeper, to keep going, to keep growing, to keep glowing, to keep expanding and multiplying the light within yourself and within our world. That's bringing heaven to earth. So remember the door, the opportunity, what it's for. What is the door for? What is the door for? All right, guys, so we are ready to realign, to calm down a bit, pour some water on it, chill out, drop into the heart. Remember who we are, why we're here, remember our purpose, and from that space, approach the world. Be willing to put ourselves out there as much as we want to be received, because it goes hand in hand. Only when you are truly aware of the oneness of all beings and all things can you live in this way. Because if there's part of you that doesn't believe that we're truly equal, that we're truly one, then you are going to put yourself out there and get hurt, get burned. You know, there is going to be a lesson there, because we have to get that lesson out of the way first. We have to lock in oneness awareness, oneness consciousness before we can proceed with the other lessons, right? It's just like the tarot. The Fool represents oneness consciousness, okay? It's the zero. It's the lens you look at the other archetypes through. Without that Fool, you're not unlocking the deeper initiations of the rest of the cards, the rest of the archetypes. So again, if the more you put yourself out there with oneness consciousness, the deeper you're going to go, the more you're going to grow. But until you do that, your lessons are elementary. Your lessons are going to be the same ones over and over again, just to get you to see that we are one. Okay? So lock in that oneness. That's what this really is about. And it requires expression of the heart. It requires expressions of feelings, okay? You cannot be stagnant water. You've got to flow. And when the energy flows, then you can expand. Then you can open up. Then you are more harmonious with life. Then you are in your heart, right? Because the cup, water, the heart is connected, okay? So do what you need to do to express, to heal, to feel, so that you can arrive at your heart. And truly remember, everything and everyone is one. And then you can grow. Then you can put yourself out there and truly give and receive and exchange energy in a way that is proficient and in a way that is beautiful and in a way that's going to bring heaven to earth, okay? So the degree that you lock in oneness consciousness is to the degree, equal to the degree that you can grow in this way, and is equal to the degree that you can fulfill your purpose of bringing heaven to earth. Now, let's say you're slightly, I don't really believe that that other person is fully me. You're going to go out there and you're going to be frustrated that someone's not receiving you because you're not receiving them. For example, okay, that's just one example, okay? You may put yourself out there and you may feel like, oh, I'm such a martyr. I always receive everyone and they never receive me, okay? All these problems with feeling inferior or feeling superior are coming from an imbalance within yourself. It's coming from a place of separation within yourself, because when you're not in separation consciousness and you come back to oneness consciousness, you are in your heart, you're grounded in, you are balanced. And it requires work every moment because we're constantly being thrown off kilter. That's the point, is to return, return, return. Okay? So to the degree that you're imbalanced is equal to the degree that you're going to receive these experiences. You're going to be met with these experiences of frustration, of failure, of victimization, until you take responsibility, take accountability, come back into your heart, and really put yourself out there from a place of awareness of the oneness of all life. So let's do it. Let's drop in. Let's get ready for opportunities that can only come when we're in that space of the heart. Feeling it. Feeling it. And remember, we're at the first quarter, so next week, full moon, we should be able to see the results of the work that we're putting in right now and in the week ahead. Next week, we should be able to go, wow. As that light shines, it's shining on, it's symbolic. It's shining on all the work that we've done. It's going, look, what have you done? Have you committed to this inner work? Are you really doing it? How far has it gotten you? Can you see that this method is working or it's not? Where do you need to refine? Okay, time to take all this information in and move forward. That's what the full moon is about. It's about looking and analyzing, looking at the work, the inner work that you're doing. Right? Because the moon is about the subconscious, is the inner work. And then at the final quarter, we'll know how to integrate all of this reprogramming we've done so that we can move on to the new moon and we can start a new cycle from this new frequency. So imagine that. We're going to do this work, and next week we'll be able to have a week to just look at how far we've come and hopefully be proud of all of the effort we put into dropping into our hearts and putting ourselves out there in the world in a way that is recognizing the oneness of all of life and expecting opportunities to come in reflection of this beautiful space that we're grounded into. Whew. Thanks for being here with me, you guys. I appreciate you so much. Shalom, shalom. And if you want to give back in some way, if this activation has touched you or previous activations have touched you, please share it with a friend. Expand the light. That's the best way you can give back. Do the work and share it with others. And thank you for your reviews. A couple of you emailed me some really beautiful reviews this past week. I so appreciate that. You can leave me a review. Just go to facebook.com/royalpathtarot and you can leave a star rating on there. I love that. Or you can just email me a review. If you've read my book, please review it. Let me know or either of my books, let me know what you think of my books. If you want to order my books and you want to get more into tarot, or you just want to know yourself better, the books are for anyone. It's not just about somebody who wants to read cards. It's about knowing yourself on a deeper level, getting to understand who the archetypes are as they exist within you and within the world, within everyone. And thank you for all of your donations. My Venmo is Rebecca-Magic with a CK. If you want to give back in that way, super helpful. I appreciate all of you who've been doing that from the beginning. I see you. Thank you so much. And if you want to book a one-on-one reading with me, please email me info@royalpathtarot.com. info@royalpathtarot.com, or just private message me. And even if it's not for you, if you want to get a gift for somebody, it's the best, most personal gift that truly keeps on giving. Soul growth. And it doesn't come from me. It comes from you. It comes from you. I don't take anyone's power away. I simply help you to see it for yourself, activate it, and bring it out of you. So it's an awesome gift. And don't forget about our private groups, the Archetypal Alliance and Shabbat Crew. Ask me about them, private message me, and I'll send you the links. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next week for the full moon. Woo! Let's do it, baby. Let's do the work. Let's do the good work. Let's open up the doors. Peace.